Have you ever wondered why some people, even when meeting you for the first time, feel strangely drawn to you, as if an invisible thread pulls them toward you? Is it your physical appearance, a unique personality, or a natural charm that makes it impossible for others to look away? Perhaps. But if you believe it's all just surface level, you might be missing a deeper truth, something mysterious rooted in the unconscious layers of the human mind. Carl Jung, the great psychoanalyst who laid the foundations for much of modern psychology, once said that love is not merely a game of chance or fate. According to him, when someone feels a strong attraction towards you, it isn't simply because they like you. It's because you've touched a part of their unconscious mind that they may not even be aware of, yet are silently seeking. In this video, we'll step into the fascinating inner world Jung explored, where love is not just a feeling, but a projection of what someone lacks and deeply yearns for within themselves. We'll talk about the concepts of anima and animus, psychological archetypes representing the feminine aspect within men and the masculine aspect within women. Archetypes that, when awakened, ignite a powerful attraction beyond rational control. More importantly, you'll understand why some people love you, not for who you are in the physical world, but because you represent something sacred, profound, and deeply personal within their inner world. Jung called this the meeting of two souls, a moment where the unconscious of one sees a reflection of its unfulfilled self in the other. We will uncover the two core reasons why someone might fall in love with you, not because of your looks, words, or actions, but because of what you awaken deep within them. These reasons transcend ordinary logic and speak to the heart of psychological attraction. Prepare yourself for a journey into the mind, where you will understand how others see you and discover deeper insights into your own self. We often believe love is magical, something that arrives like a bolt of lightning on a clear day, a sudden emotional spark that cannot be explained or predicted. However, according to Carl Jung, one of the greatest thinkers in psychoanalysis, even those seemingly random moments are not truly random. Behind every glance, every heartbeat that skips, lies a hidden but powerful structure, what Jung called the logic of the unconscious. Jung believed that attraction doesn't originate from the surface, our appearance, charm, or interesting personality, but from the hidden parts within us. Unhealed emotions, unresolved experiences, and repressed traits abandoned during childhood form an invisible structure that quietly draws us towards certain people. When you feel an inexplicable connection with someone and think, "It's like we've known each other in a past life," it's likely a reaction of the unconscious, not just a fleeting feeling. This is where Jung introduced the concept of projection. As we live, all of us store in our subconscious certain psychological images of people we once loved, qualities we long to possess, or even aspects of ourselves we've denied, often buried due to fear, pain, or societal pressure. These fragments don't disappear. They remain alive, waiting for the chance to emerge through someone else. When you meet someone who embodies those hidden traits, you feel irresistibly drawn to them. But here's the fascinating part. You're not seeing them. You're seeing a reflection of your inner self projected onto them. For instance, someone who is reserved, emotionally controlled, and guarded might feel deeply attracted to someone who is free-spirited, expressive, and unafraid to be themselves. It may feel like they're enchanted by the other, but that person truly mirrors a part of themselves that they've lost or never dared to become. This attraction isn't just admiration or curiosity. It's an inner calling. The other person awakens a part of you that has been buried, something your unconscious self longs to reclaim to become whole again. According to Jung, love is a journey through which the unconscious seeks healing and growth. People are drawn to you not because of who you are on the surface, but because you somehow awaken a missing part of their soul. And conversely, you may also be caught in a similar projection, seeing your missing piece in them. So when we fall in love, beyond the romance, it is the meeting of two souls striving to become whole through one another. The first reason someone may feel deeply drawn to you, it's because you represent something they lack. Not just the allure of opposing personalities, but the embodiment of a part of their soul they've never recognized. We often hear that opposites attract, but Jung urged us to go deeper. He believed that opposites don't merely attract because of contrast, but because they reveal what is missing within each of us. Think about this. A person who lives too rationally, always suppressing emotions, may be mesmerized by someone who lives through the heart, sensitive and sincere. An introverted, closed-off individual may feel drawn to an extrovert, radiant and open like sunshine. Someone who lives with discipline and seriousness in every step of life may feel spellbound by a free spirit who lives fully in the present moment. But while this kind of attraction is real, it isn't always sustainable. If the other person doesn't realize that what they love about you merely reflects what they are missing within themselves, the love can easily become dependent. They love you, but not necessarily for who you truly are. They love feeling filled when they're around you. So what happens then? When that needs changes, or when time strips away the illusions, they may feel distant and disappointed. What once captivated them now exhausts them. This is the danger of projection. It creates the illusion of a deep connection, but it may not be strong enough to withstand reality. However, Jung didn't stop there. He expanded this insight into one of his most profound and captivating theories, the concept of anima and animus. According to Jung, every man carries an invisible image of the ideal woman within his unconscious, called the anima. Every woman carries a hidden image of the ideal man, the animus. These are not personal preferences or culturally influenced ideals. They are archetypal symbols, deep-rooted psychological imprints formed from early relationships with our father or mother. They are further shaped by fairy tales, religion, films, myths, and the countless social patterns we absorb. Over time, anima and animus become the emotional blueprints we unconsciously carry in our search for love. And then, one day, we meet someone who seems to have stepped out of that inner blueprint. They don't have to be perfect, but they strike a deep chord within us. In that moment, emotions erupt like a storm. You don't just find them attractive, you feel like you've known them forever, as if you've come home, as if it's destiny. And that is what Jung wanted us to understand. Attraction sometimes doesn't come from the present. It emerges from a deep spiritual memory we carry within our unconscious. That person is not just an individual out there. They are the symbol of the missing part of ourselves, calling to be seen and made whole. So when someone feels intensely drawn to you, know this: you may not simply be you. You may be a mirror reflecting the part of their soul they have long forgotten. Here is the English translation of your text, carefully written to retain its emotional depth, poetic tone, and psychological clarity. The second reason someone might feel deeply and intensely drawn to you is because you have awakened a powerful unconscious image they've carried with them for a long time. This attraction isn't simply about your appearance, your gestures, or the words you speak. It's not because your eyes remind them of a past lover, or your smile evokes a beautiful memory. No, deeper than that, it's because you've stirred an inner pattern, a psychological archetype they've unconsciously preserved since childhood. From fairy tales, memories of their parents, or cultural icons they once admired. You don't need to do anything extraordinary. It could be the way you walk, the tone of your voice, your silence, or simply the energy you carry. Somehow, it makes them feel you are the one they've always been searching for, though they don't know why. The truth is, they've carried this inner image for a long time, and you've merely awakened it. But this is where a problem begins. They are not loving you as a living, breathing human being, with all your nuances, flaws, and depth. They're in love with a symbol, an idealized image their mind has created. You become the projection screen for an unconscious script long written within them. And through you, they're watching their dream come to life. But, like all projection screens, reality eventually breaks through. When you begin to reveal your imperfections, your cracks, your wounds, your limitations, that sacred image begins to crumble. What was once idealized becomes confusing. What once inspired admiration now becomes a source of conflict. They feel disillusioned, not because you changed, but because you were never truly the person they imagined. This is why so many relationships begin in euphoric ecstasy, intense, passionate like fate itself, only to end in chaos and heartbreak. These connections were not built on genuine understanding, but on the projection of unconscious archetypes, images from within trying to become reality. But no one can sustain that role forever. No one can live as a walking archetype without losing themselves. And yet, what made Carl Jung's insight so profound is that he never saw the collapse of these illusions as failure. On the contrary, he believed it was a necessary part of the human journey towards psychological growth. According to Jung, every person we've ever loved, whether briefly or deeply, mirrors something within ourselves. Some come to reflect a potential we haven't yet unlocked. Some arrive to help us face fears we've long avoided. Some awaken our creativity, life purpose, or the self-love we had forgotten. And some make us feel anxious, only so that we finally recognize the wounds that have gone unhealed within our soul through them. All of these relationships, whether they end in joy or sorrow, bring us closer to what Jung called individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming our whole, authentic, and unique self. So even when love fades or falls apart, it does not mean failure. Because if we are brave enough to look inward and learn, then love, even in its messiest form, always becomes an opportunity for transformation, for maturity, and for a deeper understanding of who we truly are on this mystical journey of the human soul. When someone falls in love with you, they often believe they're seeing something magical in you, something that moves them, captivates them, and holds their gaze. And they're not wrong. But what they feel doesn't only come from you. It comes from what you've awakened within them. In that moment, you are not just a person with a name, a job, or a past. You become a symbol, a deep invitation from their unconscious, as if you are the doorway to a part of their soul they've never dared to enter. The attraction you inspire is not only about you, it's also about the potential for growth you've stirred within them. The person you fall in love with, especially the one who changes you, whether through affection or pain, did not appear in your life by mere coincidence. From Carl Jung's perspective, such people are messengers of the soul, carrying lessons that life wants you to hear, learn, and sometimes remember. Some arrive to awaken something in you that has long been forgotten, perhaps a passion, a part of your personality, or a dream buried under the weight of everyday life. Some come to deliver a lesson you once refused to learn, a lesson about boundaries, self-respect, unconditional love, or letting go. And some simply come to show you, not through words, but through how they make you react. They become a mirror, sometimes clear, sometimes distorted, depending on whether or not you're ready to look within. Not every relationship is meant to last a lifetime. Some come to interrupt an outdated flow, to force you to stop, face yourself, and change. Others appear to break a repeating pattern embedded in your unconscious, a pattern that causes you to keep choosing the wrong things or to forget who you are. Carl Jung called such encounters meaningful coincidences, synchronicity, events that defy logical explanation but carry deep symbolic and emotional resonance. They are like gentle taps from the universe on your life's shoulder, unexpected, and uncannily precise. So, whenever you find yourself magnetically drawn to someone, whether through love or pain, ask yourself, what is this person reflecting in me? What are they here to remind me of? Because the magic may not lie in them, but in the inner door they've unknowingly opened within you. And so, when viewed through Jung's lens, the journey of love is not just a path toward another person. It is a profound journey back to yourself. Why do people fall in love with you? You might think it's because of your personality, your looks, or the warmth you radiate. But if you look deeper, you'll see that the love someone gives you often reflects their inner journey. They love you because you touched something missing in them, a part not yet whole, a facet of themselves they long to develop. Or maybe you awakened something they had forgotten, a genuine emotion, an old dream, or a piece of soul they left behind long ago. In that moment, you are not just you. You are a mirror, reflecting an inner image they've been seeking. And so, while their love may seem directed toward you, it is a chapter in their own process of becoming. But the wonder of it is, the same is true for you. You are drawn to those who do the same for you, those who remind you, reflect on you, or complete a part of you you've never dared to face. Those who make you feel lit up, vulnerable, and compelled to change. That's not a coincidence. That's synchronicity, as Jung described. We are drawn to people who resonate with our inner images, the archetypes deeply rooted in our unconscious. And if we don't recognize this, we'll unknowingly relive the same patterns, falling for the same types, repeating the same wounds, and clinging to illusions we mistake for love. Carl Jung would say, the solution isn't about finding the right person. It's about becoming conscious. When you start to observe yourself, the images you carry, the emotions triggered by certain people, the scripts you keep replaying, you begin to free yourself from the unconscious grip. You stop searching for someone to complete you. You no longer fall in love out of loneliness or the illusion of being saved. You begin to see clearly. True love is not dependency, but resonance. A connection between two people who have each touched wholeness within themselves. And when you reach that point, when love is no longer a dream projected onto someone else, but an awakening within you, everything changes. Love is no longer fragile. It no longer relies on idealized perfection or crumbles under disappointment. It becomes a safe space, where you can be fully yourself and the other person can too. Because, in the end, the deepest kind of love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about awakening the most beautiful parts of yourself. You forgot the parts that have long waited to be seen, not by anyone else, but by your own loving gaze. We often think that when we're in love, we love the other person, their eyes, their smile, and their presence in our lives. But through the lens of Jungian psychology, there is a deeper truth. You're not just loving them. You're loving a version of yourself. They've helped you discover it. Maybe it's a tenderness you never knew you had. Maybe it's a strength you were too afraid to express. Maybe it's a zest for life, a creative spark, or faith in something greater than yourself. All awakened simply because you loved them. That person, whether intentionally or not, became a mirror reflecting your deepest self. A part of you that you didn't even know you were searching for, but longed to touch all along. And so, according to Carl Jung, true love has never been about the other. Every encounter, every heartbeat, every heartbreak is a step on the journey back to yourself. You're not just building a relationship. You're rebuilding yourself from the scattered fragments, from the forgotten pieces of your soul. If anything in this video has made you reflect on your own experiences with love, why you once loved someone so deeply, or why certain relationships changed you forever, then perhaps you've already begun your journey of awareness. And if you're in the middle of that journey, I invite you to continue with us. Share your thoughts in the comments. Because who knows, your story might become a mirror for someone else. And don't forget to subscribe to Wise Flow, where we explore the deepest layers of psychology, relationships, and the inner world. Not just to understand others, but first and foremost, to understand ourselves more honestly and more completely.